Alright, I'm going to show you a little bit of what the Cirrus SR-20 looks like. Around in the front. Here's this safety feature that's designed by Cirrus. You can see that the wing here has a little inconsistency, and the reason for that is that when maneuvering at minimum controllable airspeed near the stall speed, the angle of incidence of the inner part of the wing is slightly higher than the outer part of the wing. That way the inside of the wing, the root of the wing, stalls before the outside of the wing does, and in other words, you'll feel the buffet before you actually are in a full stall. Also, you'll notice that over here the aileron is on the outer part of the wing, so even if there's a stall, or even if the root of your wing is stalled, you're still getting airflow over the ailerons, which helps you maintain roll control. Here's the elevator on the back here, and one thing about the elevator is that the trim, there's no trim tab. The way that the aircraft trims is electronically, and it just moves the entire elevator to a new place. So if you had to trim, then that would be the new position, let's say, or it would trim vice versa. Anyways, so moving around here. This particular Cirrus and almost all Cirrus SR-22s have a 200 horsepower engine and a 6-cylinder horizontally opposed direct drive. It's a Continental IO 360. Actually, I'm not sure. I know it's a Continental IO, but I'm not sure this particular model what engine it has. The cabin is significantly more comfortable than what I've been flying. The interior was modeled after a BMW interior in terms of some of the materials that are used, etc. And the baggage compartment's pretty large there. And I'm not sure how well you can see from back here. I'll show you from the inside. Anyway, so the way you get up is there's a step right there, and then right there's a handle that we'll hold on to, and we'll step just on those pads over to there. To open the door, you push that button in, and then right here in this latch right there, you lift up. So we'll go and push there, grab here, and then you just lift. And it's very unique design for the door in terms of how it opens. So here's what the cockpit looks like. It's very clean, and I'll show you a couple of features once we get in there. So step. We'll hold on to the handle and step. Now these seats are pushed fully to the back, so the trunk, or the back seat actually has more space than you're seeing here. But anyway, I'll show you some of the little bit about the cockpit here. One, it's got a really deep glove compartment that goes down in there for you to store your charts and whatnot. It's got oxygen hookups if you have oxygen tanks for operations above 12,500 feet. It's got your flight and your Hobbs meter. It's got the two headphone jacks, and it has noise reduction capabilities. It also has two features over here. It's got an audio input and a convenience outlet. The audio input allows you or your passengers to listen to up to 2 different musical devices, and the convenience jack allows you to charge things on a 12-volt standard, just like a car cigarette lighter. You have your fuel selector valve there with the 2 fuel tank gauges showing you how much fuel, the throttle, the mixture, the fuel pump, oxygen tools, flaps, your so this piece here is your Garmin, I believe it's the 430 or the 340, which is your let's see what it is. Yep, Garmin 340. That's the audio panel. And also control. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just your communications and audio. This is your transponder. I'm sorry, not transponder. This is your autopilots and Aztec 55X. This is the transponder, and then 2 Garmin 430 systems for GPS. That's your Avidyne Integra. That's the MFD, the PFD. Annunciator lights over there, magnetos. Here you have masters for the battery 1, battery 2, alternator 1, alternator 2 avionics. Over here are lights, interior and exterior, and pitot heat. And then over there is climate control, environment control, and up there are engine gauges. So let's, oh, sorry about that, down here, all the circuit breakers there. There's the alternate air induction system on the parking brake, and the alternate static is also located down there. Now, you'll see the side yoke here, and one over there. You'll see that there's no yoke that comes out of the center. There's your backup gauges. There's no yoke that comes out of the center, no stick in the middle between your legs or anything like that. So to sit down right up here, actually you can probably see it better if we move that out of the way. There you go. There's a handle. You just hold that, and then you just slide yourself in like that. All right. So the visibility, the seats are pretty high. Hold on. There we go. So now I'm in position. The seats are a little high, so it provides you good visibility over the cowling. Also, the screens are both tilted towards you as well as the engine gauges, so it makes it very easy for in terms of not having to look down too much. So we'll fire up battery 1, battery 2, and we'll see all that come to life, and we'll fire up the avionics. So everything should be booting up. Yes, it is. Okay. So, one of the cool things that I really like about this plane is the amount of space that I have in the cockpit as the pilot in command. You'll see that I'm sitting here, and this is for what I would be during flight. Let me go and close the door. There we go. So I'm totally in here. I'm not sure if you can see this or not. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so right here you'll see that there's a place for me to put my arm, and it just sits here, and naturally that allows me to hold on to the side yoke and push, pull, whatever, turn. Also, I have convenient located on there. I have the trim both up, down, left, right, as well as autopilot. Disconnect and push the talk button. And let's see. All right, so this is still initializing. This is saying that the AHRS is warming up, and we can taxi. It'll automatically align once we get to the end of the runway. Press any bezel key to continue. This shows you a pretty cool feature of it. You can input the amount of usable fuel on board, and you can change that here. Tell how much fuel you have, and then fuel done. This just gives you more information. You want to make sure that whether you're VFR or IFR, it tells you the conditions. Here's things to consider before taking off. This is fit for flight, just ensuring that you're not sick or anything like that, that you are capable of making the flight safely. It tells you passenger briefing, things that you should have briefed your passengers about. And then here you go, there's your map page. Over here, this is, I mean, this isn't gonna warm up for us, but anyways, that's the PFD here. And I can't really show you too much about that because the plane's not warmed up, but anyways. So this is the map page. You also have engine information up there. And temperatures, and over here you would have waypoint information for a GPS navigation, or really any kind of navigation. The TAWS, the traffic awareness system, is down. Charts for CMAX is not up. Trip, we don't have a flight plan, so otherwise that information would be here. And you'll see that localizer up there. They're not just localizer, but course deviation indicator. The time over here, and then ground speed and track over there. This is a nearest page. Your checklist page is really cool. It really makes things easy. Let's say that, I mean, for example, starting the engine. You'll go down here, starting engine. You go over here, show checklist. Okay. One second. Oh, there we go. Show checklist, and then starting engine. Just turned on the lights, by the way. For the before starting, or for the starting engine checklist, you'll see as you cross the items off, you can press done right here. So you press done, and it automatically checks it off with the check mark next to it as you do each item. When you get to the end, it says checklist completed, end of checklist, and you'll click next checklist, and it automatically takes you right to the next checklist, which is an absolutely awesome feature. Say you accidentally pressed 3, but you're not really done, you can reset the checklist there and start from scratch again. Your auxiliary page talks to you about this. Once we're up in the air, it'll tell you about traffic, or it'll tell you about weather or things like that. But anyway, and then finally over here is the engine page. You have all your gauges here, which is RPM, manifold pressure, and then it takes that and combines the altitude with the outside air temperature to show you percent power, the oil temperature, oil pressure, the electrical system, the E-bus, the essential bus, the main bus, voltage, and then you can also find that information over here. And then the fuel, it'll tell you based on what you put in at the beginning, what the fuel flow is, how much fuel is used, how much fuel is remaining, any amount of time that you have, acknowledge, the amount of time, and then also the economy of the fuel. Over here is each individual cylinder, the temperature of each head. And then down here, you have GPS 1 and 2, and these each have their own, I mean, you can use these as you want, but they have their own, they're two separate navigations as well. They also have traffic awareness on them. And then, of course, standard autopilot, G340 audio panel and whatnot. Actually, there really isn't too much else for me to show you. The back, is, actually, why don't let me go ahead and shut this off. Avionics go, 1, 2, off. Open the door here to get out, and I'll show you what this thing looks like from the back. So to get in the back, just this handle right here. Just turn, seat falls forward. You step in here. Here. Got a quart of oil in here. Alright, so I mean, even for me in the back, I mean, I'm tall, and this is, I mean, this for me, I mean, for someone that's 6 foot, I'm still pretty comfortable. I can have my legs open and still not be touching the person next to me. There's a nice center console here. Shows you that, you know, the real width of the airplane. As you can see, I still have a pretty decent view of everything that's going on in the front. Also, when I'm looking out, it is a low wing, but you have excellent visibility behind the wing and in front of the wing. Also, the seatbelts, the way the seatbelts connect are, it's a harness and a seatbelt, so you'll have this coming over. Hold on one second. Connect like an X right there. So anyway, that's a little bit about the plane that I'm flying. And oh yeah, and here you go. There's our the audio input panel for the rear passengers. Actually, something I didn't cover is ventilation. There's each person gets its own vent. There's a vent there, a vent over here, and in the front there's vent there and there. Not sure that there's any other vents, but that's enough given that you're going, I mean, close to 200 miles an hour. Up here is the CAPS system, which is the Cirrus aircraft parachute system. You pull down on this, you pull down that handle, and a rocket shoots right out of the airframe. So we don't want that exposed, except in emergency situations. Okay, there's that. The trunk space is down here, and I don't know how big it looks on camera, but I mean, in real life, this will hold, I mean, essentially carry-on size baggage for all 4 passengers. Alright, so other than that should be everything for the Cirrus SR-20. That is November 89 Lima Delta that I hope to be flying soon. And yeah, well, that's it. I hope we'll be flying in it soon.